Since my last State of Decay video did so well, I thought it was high time I made another one. And this time I'm going to be beating the game using only knives. The rules of the run are as follows. Me and my community are only allowed to deal damage with the knives and vehicles, because you're having a laugh if you think I'm walking everywhere. Also, I am allowed to get help from other communities, but only when it's mandatory for a mission. Let's get started. I chose my starting survivors, immediately took their weapons away, then cleared out the local drug den to use as our first home. I get a mission from our neighbours to get some plague samples, so I decided to get them from a nearby plague heart to test out the knife and see the damage output. And like you would have guessed, it's shit. It took 58 hits to finally put down the globular git bag, and after this, I knew I was in for a long run. When I get back to the base, I swap characters to give Andreas a chance to get his fever down a bit, and enlist Obi to help me tackle a sheriff mission to help the transplants recover some stolen meds. So me, Obi and Deep Fry head out to try and resolve the issue. At first, it seemed to go well, but the second we tried to leave, they started shooting us in the back like a bunch of pussies. So we tried to fight back, and as usual, bringing knives to a gunfight is a bad idea, because Obi and Deep Fry ended up kicking a bucket almost immediately after starting the fight. So I channeled my inner Londoner and shanked them into Swiss cheese. And since we lost Obi, I decided to recruit Deep Fry's friend Travis into our community. Then I watched some psychos get mauled by the cannibalistic cadavers. I head off to take out plague heart number 2, and for the foreseeable future, I decided to tackle them alone after the Obi incident. And after giving it the old slashy, a feral runs into my car so fast his head explodes. Then I help a local drunkard get back to her base after a night out on a blood-soaked town. I perform reverse surgery on the third plague heart, help Kamani find some materials, recruit her, then give plague heart 4 some new ventricles, help Trenton find some painkillers, then let him join the group. I shiv plague heart number 5 to death. Then I promote Kamani to leader because I wanted to do the builder campaign for this one, as it seemed to be the easiest one to beat for the run. More on this later though. Then whilst trying to murder plague heart 6, 2 ferals show up and I have to run them over. Then the plague heart meets a sharp sticky end, and because no one else can solve their own problems, I agreed to help Caro find her friend Araya. But because I drive worse than a person with no arms that drank their weight in vodka, I drive straight into a bloater and get the truck stuck on a rock. I eventually managed to get it free, but it was short-lived because it burst into flames and exploded when we arrived to help Araya. Then after I cleared out the zombies for them, they give me a sack of meds and just leave me on my own without a vehicle to make my way home. So I had to walk a few miles to get another one. And the entire time that I was doing this, I kept thinking that I should have lured some ferals to the pair of them and watched the carnage unfold. Then once I got a van, in my frustration I made a decision to get rid of the 7th plague heart whilst I was in the area. Despite me being extremely low on meds, and I couldn't just use the ones I got from Caro because our community desperately needed them. Then my van blew up, so I ordered a new impaler. Smushed some of the decaying dickheads with it, managed to stab the plague heart to death with no problems, and since I've blown up more cars than the IRA, I decided to move our group to the wheelhouse truck stop so I can make some vehicle repair kits to stop this predicament from happening again in the future. And once we had finished building the facilities at our new home, I got my first curveball, which was bad luck for me because now some regular zombies explode into purple goo when you stab them and deal some damage to boot. I ended the suffering of plague heart number 8, then whilst checking the map, a bloater blows up on my car, and Travis gets caught in the gas and ends up dying. So I went back to the gruesome scene to put him out of his misery, but I couldn't find him. So I grabbed the impaler, and on the drive home I couldn't help wondering if he would return at a later date and murder us all in our sleep. The goo zombie curveball ends, then I get another one, the Lone Raider, and as long as he remains, our community won't get any supplies from our outposts. I recruit Juliet to our group to make up for the loss of Travis, gave the Raider a good old-fashioned stabbing, then I tried to rid myself of this annoying tutorial pop-up. But because I killed the Raider before completing it like an idiot, I was now stuck with it. I destroyed another rotting pile of goop, then when I get back to base, I exit the game and reload in hopes of getting rid of that annoying pop-up, which actually worked. So if this happens to you, now you know how to fix it. Then I completed my transformation into a shady merchant. Welcome! And head out to cleanse the world of the 10th plague heart. Once that's out of the way, I head back to base to swap characters, search a military checkpoint for weapons to break down into parts to make more vehicle repair kits, make plague heart 11 my bitch, then when I get back to base, I get another curveball. This time, it turns out that the other communities are spreading rumours about our group. And there's only one way to deal with that.
The toxic gossip train.
No, not that. I just have to ride it out as it only affects the prices for trading and radio requests. So I just have to not use those for a while. I killed Jabba the Hutt number 12, and now only one plague heart remains. Then whilst heading to it, another curveball gets thrown our way. This one makes the zombies practically deaf, but gives them superhuman eyes in a certain area. And whilst trying to rid the town of the last plague heart, I get infected with the lurgy. So I turn it into jam as fast as I can, race back to the base, because even though I have 12 minutes to get there, every single time I get Blood Plague in this game, my brain goes into panic mode, and I have no idea why. I take the vaccine, and now all that's left is to do the missions for Kamani. So I upgrade my beds, build a rain collector, a sniper tower, then some survivors show up and want to join the group. I let them join, remove their weapons, 2 more show up, and apparently there's drama between them. But we have enough to worry about without dealing with all that nonsense, so I banish them. Another one shows up and brings a bunch of undead idiots with him, so we clear them out and I accept him into the group. Then the people I kicked to the curb show up seeking revenge. We manage to gank them to death with our trusty knives, and the noise attracts some zombies. But remember when I said I thought that the builder campaign would be easier? Well, midway through fighting them, a Blood Plague juggernaut shows up, and after stabbing it what seemed like 1,000,000 times, I had to cure myself of Blood Plague. Michael ended up dying, and we finally managed to put it in his place. After, and I'm not joking when I say this, almost 20 minutes of stabbing it, despite all of us stabbing it together. Then the group gathers to sing the builder theme song, and with that, I beat State of Decay 2 with only knives. This run was a lot harder than my Lone Survivor one, and it was interesting to see what the damage of the knife would be, because I've never really used them aside from stealth attacks. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, why not leave a like and subscribe? If there's a particular run you want to see me do, let me know in the comments, and I'll see you next time.